Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a kind of a fascinating journey into the very heart of a state's identity. We're looking at South Dakota, explored through its official symbols.
Yeah, and we've pulled together insights from, various articles, research, historical notes, really trying to give you a shortcut to understanding how this state sees itself, what it's built on.
Exactly. And this deep dive, it's more than just looking at some official designs, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to try and peel back the layers of history here, uncover the symbolism, and even explore some maybe surprising connections these emblems have to a place like Sioux Falls. It's really a rich tapestry, values, economy, geography, all woven into a flag and a seal.
Okay, so if we're tracing the roots of South Dakota's identity, maybe we should start with the Great Seal. I understand it was adopted even before statehood, back in 1885.
That's right, yeah, 1885. And
Correct.
what's really fascinating here is how much it captures the state's identity during that early period. Settlement, growth. It prominently features this state motto, under God, the people rule.
That's quite a statement.
It is, and it's not just a phrase.
Yeah.
It really captures that frontier spirit, self-reliance, mixed with a kind of deep religious conviction.
Right, a tension you see in a lot of early American identity.
Exactly.
So beyond that motto, what else is in the seal? What's the visual story?
Well, visually, it tells you a lot. You see a farmer plowing fields, a really powerful nod to agriculture.
The backbone, basically.
Absolutely. And alongside that, you've got cattle and corn, symbolizing, the livestock, the bounty of the land.
Okay.
Then there's a smelting furnace. That points to mining, which was important.
Ah, right, mining too.
Yeah, and a river with a steamboat. That highlights commerce, transportation. Super crucial back then. And it's all set against this backdrop of hills, showing the natural landscape.
And I noticed the border itself sort of marks the date, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. The border clearly states, State of South Dakota, Great Seal, 1889. That marks its official establishment right when statehood happened.
So the seal is almost like a time capsule.
It really is.
Yeah.
Symbolizing that agricultural heritage, the industry starting up, the faith.
Yeah.
All central to how the state formed.
Interesting how, fixed and enduring that seal seems. But flags often tell a more dynamic story.
They certainly can.
Let's turn to the South Dakota state flag. That one's had quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. And if you connect it to the bigger picture, the flag's changes, they reflect shifts in the state's identity over time. Definitely. The original one, designed by Ida Anthony McNeil back in 1909, was quite different from today's flag.
Oh, really? How so? What was that first design like?
Well, for starters, it featured this big yellow sun on a blue field on one side.
Okay.
And then on the reverse, it had the state seal.
Wow, two-sided.
Yeah. Plus, it had text on it. South Dakota above the sun, and the state's nickname at the time, the Sunshine State, below it.
The Sunshine State. Interesting. So a two-sided flag, well, you don't see that much anymore.
No, but it was fairly common for state flags back then. It let them pack more information on, I suppose.
So what prompted the changes then? Why move away from that?
Well, the first big redesign came in 1963, and that was largely about streamlining it, making it simpler.
Okay.
It became one-sided. They kept the seal, placed it inside that sun emblem, all on a sky blue field.
Right, simplifying the production maybe too.
Probably. And then there was another really notable update later on, wasn't there? The one involving Mount Rushmore?
Yes, exactly. The 1992 update, that's when they replaced the Sunshine State text with the Mount Rushmore State.
And that wasn't just, a minor tweak.
No, it feels significant.
Very. It signaled South Dakota kind of strategically deciding to brand itself with this globally recognized monument.
Right. Instantly recognizable.
Totally. It boosted its national presence, projected a more, maybe, rugged, iconic image compared to just the Sunshine State.
A conscious choice then.
Absolutely. Leaning into a really powerful, indelible symbol.
So after all those changes, let's look at the current flag. What do the design elements really stand for today?
Okay, so the sky blue field, that's meant to evoke the big open skies of the state, the vast landscapes.
Makes sense.
Then you have the sunburst, those gold triangles around the seal. That honors the old Sunshine State nickname, but also, suggests a sunny climate.
A nod to the past.
Exactly. And the seal, right in the center, that's the enduring core of the state's identity, showing everything we talked about earlier.
And the words are clear.
Yep, clear lettering. South Dakota above, and the current nickname, the Mount Rushmore State, below. No mistaking it.
So bringing this all together, what does this mean for folks living in South Dakota today, like in places like Sioux Falls? How do these big state symbols actually connect with their daily lives, their sort of local identity?
Yeah, that's a really important question. How do these, sometimes abstract symbols translate into local pride? Well, take the flag. It's
Yeah.
not just some emblem in the capital. It flies over government buildings, schools, all across the state, including plenty of places right there in Sioux Falls.
So it's a visual link.
It is.
Yeah.
It visually connects that local pride to a shared state heritage. It's a daily reminder, in a way.
And I found it really interesting how Sioux Falls itself kind of echoes these state symbols.
Exactly. That's a great point. The Sioux Falls city flag, for instance, it actually mirrors the state's colors, and it even uses sun symbolism.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it directly ties local and state identity together visually.
Yeah.
And beyond that, the symbols on the state seal, they pop up in local school lessons,
Right.
especially when talking about how things like agriculture, industry, the waterways, how they played key roles in Sioux Falls' own history, particularly along the Big Sioux River. That river was, it was the artery that let the city grow. Powered mills, connected people.
And it's not just history lessons, right? These symbols are still part of civic life today.
Absolutely. They're still sparking conversations, even civic engagement, especially among younger people.
Like that student initiative.
That's right. Recently, in 2023-24, we saw some Sioux Falls area students actually lead a push to modernize the city flag.
Mm.
And if this wasn't just like a school project, they presented proposals to the city council.
Wow.
Yeah, it sparked a real debate about what best represents Sioux Falls now as it evolves. It shows ongoing engagement, a desire for symbols to reflect today's identity.
What an incredible deep dive. South Dakota's flag and seal, they really aren't just static images. They're visual stories, aren't they? Standing for farming, faith, industry, that big prairie sky.
They really are. And they do more than just represent, they connect the past and the present. You see it from Sioux Falls classrooms right through to these ongoing civic debates about what the symbols mean now. These symbols, they kind of invite you to reflect on how we see ourselves, not just as a state, but as a community. Shared history, evolving aspirations.
It's a powerful reminder that identity, collective and personal, is always being written, isn't it?
It really is, constantly being reevaluated. So it makes you wonder, what do your symbols, personal or communal, say about who you are and where you come from?